Okay, can you hear me now? Should be working. Okay, perfect. Let me start again. Hi guys and welcome to another P.A.B. support group. P.A.B. Hobby questions. This is a live stream where I will try to answer to the best of my abilities all your hobby related questions. So keep going through the chat and keep putting those questions in the chat, and I will try to again answer them as best as I can. Okay. Hello, Tim. I really appreciate your support. As you can see, Tim is the coolest guy in the chat because he has the YouTube members badge. So, hi, Tim. Okay, I think that is a fair question, Terrainosaur. So let me answer why I hate blue. It's not that I really hate blue. Blue is okay. It's just that I really don't like painting blue. But I'm very particular about it. I don't like painting like a straight, like flat blue without any hues or anything on it. So think about the classic ultramarines and some stuff like that. I think it's a very boring color. I love teal, and I love painting, adding hues into it. So if you see my blue NMM video, I try to add a bit of spice into the blue using teals to highlight, which is always a great idea because they are the brightest blues there are, and teal is amazing. So yeah, I mean, it started as I really don't enjoy painting blue, and it started as a joke when this channel was this small, and it was the first time that I was speaking on camera. Actually, and people got I got a very good response from it. You know how YouTube works. You kind of need to get like a common way to start all your videos and to end them, because that kind of gives repeatability and makes people familiar with you and with the content that you are making. So I thought, well, that seems like a good catchphrase as any other. So I started doing it, and I just keep on doing it. But yeah, I genuinely don't like painting blue. Norman Peterson, usual watcher of this streams. That name starts to ring a bell. With time, I'm sure I'm going to remember all the names of the usual people, but yeah, Norman stands out. He's always participating, and I really appreciate it. Have you seen the new Cursed City and Lumineth releases yesterday, and what do you think about them? I've seen them both, and I would just say that I have no interest in Warhammer Quest at all as a game. But oh, that box! I think that is one of the best boxes GW has made in a very long time. It's so good. That is a must get box if you play undead, and a very good box if you like to paint minis. I have no interest in Warhammer Quest, and I'm tempted to get that box. It's just so good. I hope GW sends me one, but I don't count on it. They've been ignoring all my emails so far. So yeah. And about the Lumineth, I really like them. I think GW is doing well moving away from the old high elf aesthetic, which it was good for the old world, but this is something new. And I really like the new Lumineth a lot. I like them all, actually. I don't mind the silly hats. High elves have always had silly hats. If you don't believe me, just look at the Phoenix Guard. The Phoenix Guard has the silliest hat of them all, and no one was complaining. Or maybe they did. People always complain. But yeah, I really like them, and I especially like the flying fox spirit with the bow. I think that's fantastic mini. And I really like the two twins. One is with the bow, one with the sword. I think that is fantastic mini too. Yeah. Keltoy 3000. What was it about painting that orc mini that that made it such that made it such a chore? Yeah, guess I can read. Okay, I think it's a combination of several things. First of all, I don't really like orcs very much. I've I also feel like I say that with anything that is not an elf. Yeah, so yeah, maybe. But yeah, I generally don't like painting orcs very much. And also kind of a combination of the old sculpt with clearly showing its age. All the shapes are a bit undefined. Also, all the recipes, especially for the skin was so hard to get right, and even after weeks of testing, and I'm not kidding, after weeks of testing, when I finished it, I didn't like it. so yeah, it was a hard video to make, and also lately, since the year started, I'm feeling a bit tired from my day-to-day job. It's been a bit harder now on me, and personally, I'm having a couple issues that are personal, but they're also affecting me. So my motivation to paint is not as high as it used to be, but I'm doing fine. Don't worry, we will get past it. Hey, yes, and people knowing joining. We are 21. Keep the questions rolling. Oh, yeah, I see here one friend of mine for my local gaming group. Thank you. He's saying if there were Spanish subtitles, that would be great, and and I agree, but I really don't have the time to make them. So if anyone here wants to make Spanish subtitles for my videos, I will be awesome, and I'm sure we can work something out as a compensation. So yeah, I just don't have the time to do it. Hello, Diego. That's one of my oldest Patreons. Okay, Team Orange is asking, oh yeah, I was thinking what to do with feral vampires from Curse City to make them less feral. Some green stuff advice, please. Ah, I think that you mean the three guys that are jumping on top of ruins, the kind of really feral looking, and I think just the easy way would be to just sculpt some armor on top of those. But also maybe you will have to change the feet, which is not easy. Sculpting feet is really difficult. But yeah, oh sorry, armor is not that hard, and I think you could sculpt some armor that looks good. Okay, team. Emo Lumineth hearts are not silly enough. Someday could convert a bunch of Lumineth and convert them into one guy wearing a mega hat. That's also an idea. Um, I I've talked about this in my Patreon feed a while ago, and that I truly believe that maybe not so much for Age of Sigmar, but I truly believe that 40k should be silly. It's a silly. It's a silly universe, really, and it shouldn't be taken seriously. That's why I really like the original spirit of the Warhammer 40k of the Rogue Trader era, which it was really silly. I mean, you had pictures of Space Marines dancing, you have Inquisitors with ridiculous names, and it was all good fun. I mean, Warhammer, both fantasy and Warhammer 40k were a place to make fun of the real world, really, and to criticize it in a funny way. And I really think some people are taking, especially Warhammer 40k, a bit too seriously, and I don't think that is a good idea. I mean, yeah, I mean, no, thank you. I generally prefer to see the Warhammer 40k universe as what it originally was, which is a silly place full of criticism for the real world that has and I think it should be like that. But yeah, silly things are good because it reminds us that that is not a real world, that is just a made up universe. Okay. Norman again asking, any chance for you you having a video showcasing your different armies? I think that's been asked a while. Maybe I believe it or not, I don't have the space for it. All I have is this table, which is this big. There where my paints is, and there where my photo shoot is, which doesn't fit a full army, and where my 3D printer, my FDM printer is. And that's all I have, really, so it's really difficult for me to showcase an army. So if I get a chance somewhere, when this is all a bit less mad, and we can go outside, and meet with other people, if I get the chance to get a proper place to showcase it, I will probably do. And maybe, I don't know, maybe for the 40k subscribers, which is really near, I think maybe that's a good idea to just, well, maybe I will do a stream and showcase my armies, or my units or whatever, quickly on camera. I think that may be a good idea. Maximiliano, hola desde Málaga. Hola. We're a bit far apart. He is from the south of Spain, I'm from the north, but yeah. I have fond memories of Malaga. I used to go there for my summer vacations, and my parents still have a house there near San Pedro de Alcántara. So yeah, I really love Malaga. Evening, Dimitri. Synthas asking, hello Juan, did you see the new Lumineth stuff? Yeah, I was just talking about it. It's really good. I think that GW lately is just nailing it perfectly with the latest releases, both the Hedonids of Slaanesh and the Lumineth and the new box, the Cursed City box. I think that is just fantastic. I think I love them all. Yeah. Good evening, Meandering Shade. Oh, I just saw your blog not very long ago. Fantastic job, by the way. If you want to see some amazing terrain and minis, go and put into Google Meandering Shade, and you will find a blog spot there, and it's amazing. Really good. That Golden Throne, man. Muffy, I really want to have one display plane similar to the one you made, but I don't own the printer. Can you tell me how much it would cost me to ask someone to make it? I have no idea. I can tell you how much it will cost you to ask, which is nothing, because asking is free. But I can't tell you how much it will cost to have it done, because each people will charge a different fee, but not much for FDM printers really. If it's very large, maybe more, because that will probably take a lot of hours. But the cost in filament, it's just really cheap. So yeah, yeah. But anyway, just let me point out that I've been diving more and more into 3D printing, and honestly, if you can afford a 3D printer, even if an FDM one, is such a fun hobby to have. I know we already have a very expensive hobby, but it really is really good fun, especially if you have that kind of engineering mindset, which I do, of solving problems and troubleshooting. And if you like that, which I very much do, getting a cheap FDM printer is a fantastic idea, because those printers really need a lot of tinkering to work. It's not something that you plug and it starts printing flawlessly. You really need to play with them, and that is fun for some people and not fun for others. Talking about 3D printers, if you like 3D printing or anything 3D printing related, or if you have any interest on goldsmithing, which is my job, go and check my second channel, which I started recently. Just let me see if I can find a link so I can share it to you. 1 second, please. Yay. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm almost done. If the mouse wants to cooperate with me, we will be done. So if you're interested in any of those things, check my second channel. It has just 3 videos, which are a re-upload of my 3D printing videos. And for the most part, the rest of the 3D printing content will be on that channel. I'm planning a couple of videos soon that I hope are interesting. So slowly but surely, because that is not my main channel. So have patience with the content there, but I will be putting up some interesting content there. Also, if YouTube decides to shut my channel for whatever reason, I may have a backup. Also, Mafi, if you are, I don't know where you are from, but if you are in Europe, really, just give me, send me a message, and I may be able to print something for you if it's not very large. So, you know how to contact me through social media and write me a message. And if what you want is not very large, I may just do it. I have to tune a printer which is coming, another new one, so sounds like a good idea. But as I said, Poland, UK, both are fine. Just send me a message, and I'm sure we can work up something. You know where to find me. Yeah. Keltoy asking, what is the hobbyist scene like in Spain? Do you have any GW shops there? Yeah, I have one shop in my city, and the manager is it's a good friend. Is someone that I know from years and years. He's a very nice guy, one of the nicest guys you can ever find in any shop. He's a fantastic person. And yes, we have, we also have 2 other hobby shops. They are not GW, but otherwise miniature related, and there are more like plane and tank model shops, like more classic modeling shops. There are a couple of those. Sadly, one of them I think closed. It was 80 years old, and I'm not saying 18, it's 80 with a Y at the end. 80 years old shop that recently closed. Yeah, and it's a bit sad, but yeah, it's a shop that just closed. One of the oldest, probably in the whole country, and it just closed because the sons of the guy running it wasn't interested in it, and he just didn't want to give the shop to anyone which he didn't trust. So the shop closed. It was a bit sad because I mean it's quite a historical shop, but well, you know. Life moves on. But all in all, the hobby in Spain, I think, is really well. Especially, I don't move into stuff that is not Mantic. The guys that know me know that I only play Mantic and know about Mantic stuff. But I know there are big tournaments of everything, because if there are big tournaments of Mantic stuff, I'm sure it's going to be big tournaments about GW stuff. But most of the activities will be probably around Madrid, of course, because that's how countries work. Okay, next question. Otherwise, I will be here forever because I can just talk about this hobby forever if I don't control myself. Yeah, Terrainosaurs asking if I play any Mantic games. I play them all except I've played them all at some point, but I find that I really properly enjoy Dead Zone and Kings of War. I've tried Dreadbolt, which I don't like. I don't like football-based games or sports-based games. I don't enjoy those. And I tried Vanguard, which is the skirmish version, the fantasy skirmish game, and I really didn't like it. I'm sorry. I even backed the Kickstarter. I have my Kickstarter in a box somewhere, and I just don't like it. I think it's not a well-written game. Sorry, Mantic, but there are people that enjoys it. I can't. I mean, it takes forever to play a game, and for me, a skirmish game has to be fast, snappy, and quick to play, and a one game with 20 minutes, 10 per side, that takes 2 hours to play is just not fun to me. Okay, Sam. Yeah, speaking about Kings of War players and that some romantic players of Spain. You have Sam here. No chance of being allowed to use the dining table then. Funny enough, I don't have a dining table. We have like a bar kind of surface attached to our kitchen because my flat is quite small and my kitchen is part of my dining room. So no, we don't have a dining table. No, that is not a possibility. Mantic Hellboy models are amazing. So yeah, I do agree. They are really stepping the game up with the latest releases. Maciek, sorry if I mispronounced your name, Maciek, but I'm really trying. Do you have a resin printer or any resin model? I have 2 resin printers. You can see the video. I made a recent video about 3D printers, which is called The King of Resin Printers. If you watch that, you will see that I have... Oh, sorry, I'm lying. I have 3 resin printers. I have a Formlabs Form 2 for my job. I have a Anycubic Mono, which Anycubic sent me for review. And I really like it. It's a fantastic printer. It's really a small little machine that produces beautiful prints, and I have a Frozen Sonic Mini 4K that I actually went and asked Frozen to send me because I wanted to review it, and they said yes, so I have that too, and it's just so good. That is so good. It's incredible machine. Yeah. Let's see if I can. Thank you, Maffy. I really appreciate it, yeah. Norman asking, will there be a GH Miniatures Euro Tour with beer and no blue? Yes, in fact, just when all this went to shit about, some will know that because I was there in, I think it was March 2020, I went to London for a tournament, and for my yearly Kings of War at Dead Zone tournament spree. So I went there to play a tournament of each that is organized by a very dear friend of mine that lives in London, and I also did my first class there because I just wanted to see if giving classes would be something that I would enjoy, and I did very much enjoy it, and I was planning of doing more classes, like going around Spain first and then probably around England and so on and so forth. And yeah, then all this happened and we are here now. Probably yes, for sure, because I really enjoyed it. It was really fun, and yeah, so that is happening, but I don't know when. No one knows. Oh yeah, Muffy. Yeah, he is. Muffy is. I'm assuming he, because we don't know, but we always assume he in this hobby. But yeah, he is on my Patreon, so he's on my Discord. So yeah, send me a message. Seamless, did you ever test some alternatives for contrast, for example, green stuff wall ink, candy inks, or inks from scale 75? I have green stuff wall inks. I have a couple of them. They are good inks, but they are not contrast paints, or not similar at all. They're different. Inks are different, slightly different. Being thinner and not shrinking when drying makes quite a lot of difference for me, at least for me. And I do like them as inks, so but not anything else. As for the scale 75, how was it called? The latest Kickstarter that they did. I just can't remember. I can't remember the name. I have mixed feelings about it. I didn't back it, so I don't have them. Once they drop into retail, I'm probably won't going to buy a few, because I always test every single range that is out there. I think I have at least a paint of every range, just to test them out, just to see if I like the consistency or whatever. So I will probably buy a couple of the colors, but I have mixed feelings because I think they missed what contrast paint is all about. Most of the colors that I saw that were available to see in the Kickstarter and that and on the videos and so on, they were very pale, very pastel-y like, because they, instead of using transparent pigments, they went for solid acrylic pigments, which makes no difference of using just watered down acrylic paint. I'm sure the medium is different, but the point with contrast paints is they go very dark when they pull. That's the point of it. And most of their paints were just so washed out. I think they will have their uses, of course, but not as a substitute for contrast paints, but as a tool on their own, which I'm sure they are fantastic. Rob R is saying that Dead Zone is such an underrated game. So much fun than Guilty Necromunda. Dead Zone. Let me just say this while looking to the camera. Dead Zone is the best game ever made, and I say that with 100% convinced of what I'm saying. Dead Zone is amazing, the best game ever made. People need to try it. If you try Dead Zone and you play it, you will just be blown away for how good Dead Zone is. I'm just going to say that. Try Dead Zone, play Dead Zone. Such a good game. Yes, I'm saying that. Yeah, I will deploy my armies at some point. I promise. You have seen them both. I think you've seen them all. Yeah, yeah. You have seen them both. I will at some point. I promise. What is the plan for future AOS factions? Norman is asking. Well, I have Luminath, which has been here with me painted for a while. He will be the next AOS model. And apart from that, I have. I'm sorry if I say the wrong names because the old world names come back to me. But Slanesh is coming because it's this month's mini on the GW shops. My shop still hasn't gotten any of the free minis, so as soon as I can get my hands on one, I will be painting a Daemonite. And I will be painting. I have a Night Goblin from the Underworld's Warbands. I have more models from the Underworld's Warbands. Well, I will be painting some more models, but Night Goblins, the Sylvaneth, and the Slanesh are the next ones. And I'm probably going to. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the box of the Cursed City, but if I do, I will probably paint one of each. For sure. But yeah. AOS is always going to be slower than 40k, just because I don't know why. I really like painting 40k models, and I really enjoy them. So yeah. Michael Wright, do you think metallics with anything special? I use Sky 75 and Vallejo metal core mostly and can get good results, but not regularly. If it makes any sense, I just use water for all my paints. I rarely use anything else. Sometimes with a very light colors that have a lot of white pigment in them, like tone yellow and so on. Those kind of really pastel looking colors. I sometimes, if I want to thin them down to extremes, I use Lamian medium, just so the pigment doesn't disintegrate. But for my metallic paints, just a tiny touch of water, and they flow right. I mean, I now fallen in love with the. I use Vallejo Metal Color too. Great paints. My only problem is they can be sometimes a bit hard to control. You can lose control of them really easily. They just flow so well, but they are gorgeous, of course. And I use Scale 75, which I find that have a horrible coverage generally, but they glaze very well. The Scale 75 metallics. And I'm lately falling in love with the Vallejo Model Air metallic line, especially the steel. Sorry, especially the steel and the silver, which I find are the best metallic paints to edge highlight with. Beautiful paints. yeah, that sounds nice. I think and I just use water. I with my Echo metal color, I don't use anything. They are quite runny as they are. They don't need anything else. Norman, as a follow up for Michael's question, what metallics do you recommend? I think I've just talked about this. I have been having some issues with GW lead version and Iron Breaker. As you know, for my videos, I use GW paints because that is what most people have, and what is easier to get. And I think it's important to keep consistency across all my tutorials and just using one line, not trying to use like 1,000 different brands of paint. But as I said, of the GW colors, I really like Balthasar Gold. I like Lead Belcher. I like Iron Hand Steel. Iron Hand Steel is fantastic. I like Retributor Armor. And I like Canoptek Alloy. I think Canoptek Alloy is one of the best metallic highlight colors ever made. I just said it. It's fantastic, Canoptek Alloy. And as for other colors, I use again Vallejo Metal Color, and I use Scale 75, all of them, and Vallejo Modeler, just the silvers, the steel, silver. The chrome is also good, but I have issues with the golds. I think the golds have too big pigment for me. I don't like them. At least the ones I have. Maybe it's an old batch. I don't know. It's hard to know. Robin, Juan, have you considered branching into airbrushing or oil paints? I don't know. I don't have an airbrush. I don't own one. I've been considering getting one just to do base coats because I hate base coating. But the truth is, I really enjoy painting with a brush. I just like it, and also, I think there are enough channels already that do airbrush work. And I just want to keep my channel as brush centered as possible. As talking about oil paints, I want to try them, but I just need to find the time to experiment with them before doing anything else. And currently, I don't have the time, really. I wish I had the time to experiment and to play with them, but I don't. So maybe in the future, but yeah, probably. Gerard asking, hi Juan, just curious, why do you normally use Iron Hand Steel as a base paints for metallic colors in your tutorials? You don't like Lead Belcher or Iron Warriors? I think Lead Belcher and Iron Warriors are too dark. That's why I don't like them. I prefer to start lighter. I always prefer to start lighter. It's my style of painting. But both of them work very well, but you need to highlight them more. But I just prefer to do... True metallic metals is something that I always not struggle, but it's something that it's always like a bit more of a chore in all the painting steps. So I try to do them as simple as possible. And a mid metallic color with a wash and a simple highlight with a very bright metallic is what I do. Just because it works well. If you do Lead Belcher or Iron Warriors and then you have to highlight it, you have to do at least 3 steps of highlighting just to get it where I like it. So I prefer to just skip on that. Really, it's just me being lazy, really. But both of those colors are really good, by the way. So Victor is asking in Spanish, for someone that is starting to paint, what paints would you recommend? So let me answer that question first in English, and then I will answer it in Spanish just for you. Just because I'm not sure if you understand English well, so I will just do both. So personally, if you are starting out and you want an easy system to follow, and you don't want to go around mixing or thinking too much, the GW line gets you all you need. The only thing I don't like about GW paints is that they are a bit expensive. And expensive with paint is very relative, because a pot of paint is going to last for about a year. My pots of paint last for about a year. So really, when you think about it, €4 or €3 something for a year of service, let's just say it, is really not that bad. But I do get that when you're buying a lot of paint at once, GW can get expensive really quickly, and not everyone can afford it. But yeah, that is. I mean, I'm a bit biased because GW the Citadel range is my favorite range. So I mean, what can I say? It's still my favorite range. So yeah, I'm always going to recommend that. But if you want something cheaper that works well, Vallejo will always have you covered. I mean, their range is massive. I will probably, if someone has a budget and wants to start, I would say get Vallejo colors, except the reds. Vallejo reds are horrible. Get Vallejo colors, get Mephiston red and Evilson scarlet, and then get Citadel washes, and that will get you pretty much sorted out for less price than if you just went all in Citadel. Bueno, vamos a contestar esta pregunta en castellano para Víctor, por si acaso no entiende inglés. Así que si yo fuese a empezar ahora, o a alguien que quiera empezar el hobby y sin saber qué presupuesto tienes, para mí siempre me gusta más Citadel. Citadel es para mí la gama más completa o la más redonda, digamos, para mí. Pero claro, se puede ir un poco caro, así que si necesitas o es mucho, también una buena alternativa es coger Vallejo y coger los lavados de Citadel. Los shades de Citadel funcionan fantásticamente bien, y puedes coger pinturas de Vallejo que son verdaderamente muy buenos colores, excepto los rojos. Si puedes evitar los rojos de Vallejo, te vas a ahorrar muchísimos problemas. Coge Vallejo, los rojos de Citadel, el resto de pinturas de Vallejo y los lavados de Vallejo, y vas a ir perfectamente. Okay, moving on. Yeah, Christian says Christian is another friend of my local gaming group, and he said, you feel like doing sport with baseball, that's why you don't like it. Yeah, that's true. I'm very lazy. I'm really lazy, and I'm actually proud of it. I don't like doing sports, and I don't like playing sports tabletop games. I think it has something to do with that. I just don't like the whole sport mechanics. I don't know why, but yeah, me being lazy is probably a very good answer. Kelto, can you recommend a good gold color? I've been trying Vallejo. Yeah, Vallejo Old Gold is not a good color. I use Retributor Armor. I'm not going to lie to you. Retributor Armor is fantastic. It's a really good paint. Apart from Retributor Armor, I've been using Elven Gold from scale 75 for my elves, and it works well, but the coverage is not great. So you will probably need to do several layers. But Retributor covers in 2 layers perfectly, and it's a beautiful gold color. It's a beautiful gold base to start from. I really like it. I really wish Vallejo Metal Color did a gold color that looked like gold, because their gold color just doesn't look like gold, and not like the fantasy gold that we all have in mind when we think about gold. Interesting topic with the metallic. Could you do a video on this? Love contrast over metallics and your clean aspect there. I've done several. I've done the gold, and I've done the steel. I do have a video about the Grey Knight's armor. And yeah, I think shading gold metallic paints with contrast paint is fantastic. And if I find the right mini, I may do like an overview video about metallic paints. But it's not. I mean, if you see all my videos, I'm not really the kind of YouTuber or content creator that does like generalistic videos like others do. I mean, there's a lot of channels that just do videos about topics. I do videos about minis or very particular color schemes, and I do step by steps. So that kind of doesn't really fit, but I will consider it. I will just say that. I think it's a very interesting topic. Yeah. Yeah, my CA. Thanks. SLA 4K plus mono is the way to go. Yeah, especially if you shrink the we're talking about 3D printers for the people that weren't there. Especially with the Sonic Mini 4K, because you have the 4K resolution, but the screen is small, so the pixel as all the pixels are way smaller. Is the let's just say hobby printer or consumer printer with the small pixel size ever made. And there are a couple of them that are rumored to come out, but we haven't seen them yet. So as of today, is the highest resolution 3D printer you can get for a reasonable price. Let's just say that. And what you get for the price is absolutely amazing quality. You really get as near as I've ever seen to the original casting production minis that I have ever seen out of any other printer. It's absolutely incredible. Since I thought about replacing Software Silver with Vallejo Chrome since my pots are getting chunky after a while. I find that either Chrome or Silver from Vallejo Modeler. Just make sure it's Modeler. Both Chrome and Silver are really, really similar colors. I think I have them both. So I have them both here. I don't know if you can tell. One of those is silver, one of those is chrome, and they are very similar. Really, really similar. And once you have them on your palette, they were very, very similar. I use silver when I want to highlight metallics, and yeah, that is a great paint. Hey there, R138Y. Hey there, just want to say thanks for your tutorials. Some of them were really helpful, and seeing your creation is always a pleasure. Have a great day. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Michael says the same that I've been saying. Go to steel or aluminium. Or if you are going for the modeler, silver. Steel or silver are my go-to from that range. Yeah, modeler, yeah, same. Modeler just has such a fine pigment. It's beautiful. Instant colors were the ones that we're talking about the Sky 75 contrast equivalent. Yeah, those were. Ariel asking, hi Juan, hope you have been well. Yes, we have been well, thank you. What scale 75 metallic do you think would be a good replacement for Retributor armor? Dwarven gold. That is the tone that is closest to Retributor armor. But beware that it won't cover as well. So, at least not the one that I have. Oh, Cynthia was talking about the metallic line, about the metal color line. For the metal color line, the ones I recommend are dark aluminium and silver. And you can get steel or gunmetal. But dark aluminium is my mid-tone, and silver is my brightest highlight. And I don't mess with any of the other silvers, which are like 1,000 different ones. Scorpion, I'm doing a 10-inch 250mm high resin model, a heavy bolter marine with a Mark 7 armor. Any advice, please? Yeah, everything you're going to do in a 28mm mini, do it more, just more of everything. You need more texture, especially with those larger sizes. You need to start adding texture to your minis. It's very important because things in real life have texture and minis usually don't. So you have to paint that texture in. If you have leather, do it a bit of weathering or a bit of a stippling texture. If you have a cloth, start doing cloth texture. If you have a skin, try to add a bit of if you look in the mirror, your skin will have a bit of texture, a bit of dots, those kind of thing. Add tones to everything. It's very hard to explain, but you need to do everything you do in a 28mm, but a lot more of it, basically, and add texture to it. Okay. Muffy asking, what do you think about using base paint instead of contrast for the first coat of dark and use armor, for example, warp storm glow instead of warp storm lightning? It's a fantastic. You can do that. You can do warp storm glow and then do the dark angel green on top, or you can just start with Caliban green and then do a recess shade with some black, for example, and then just highlight with Warpstone Glow again and go on from there. So contrast paints are an option. The thing about the heavy contrast series, it started like videos with that I wanted to make with an intentional hindering, like something that it's intentionally more difficult than it should be, just because it's fun, and not using contrast paints for everything. It can be difficult. Can be more difficult than just using regular acrylic sometimes, and that is part of the fun. Is finding a way to replicate what you want to do with the normal acrylic paint using contrast paints. And I think it's really good fun. But you don't have to use them. You can just use the highlight colors and start with the classic Caliban green, for example, and that will work really well. Especially if you have an airbrush to base coat them, and you can just base coat them with Caliban green, and maybe even do, if you want to paint something fast, you can do an oil wash with a black oil wash, and then clean that off and leave that just in the recesses, and then just highlight, and it will be very, very quick. So yeah, don't get fixated with one particular method. Just try to think what will work best for you. Asking because I want to save money. Yeah, saving money, it's alright. But as I said, when I'm buying paint, and I buy a lot of paint, I never look about how much it costs, because in the end, you're going to use them each pot for at least a year if you're using it constantly, and that is just nothing. It's just nothing when you think about it in the span of the whole year, that investment. So yeah. Thank you very much for watching, Scorpion. It's my pleasure to have you here. Team Orange, what's your favorite Chaos Legion in terms of color scheme and backstory? It's either Alpha Legion, of course, because it's such fun to paint, and Emperor's Children, because I genuinely think that Slaanesh is the most interesting of the Chaos Gods, by far. It's the one that has the most depth. The rest are very plain. It's just, very very boring traits. But I think Slaanesh is very interesting, but not in a way that most people think. I mean, when most people think about Slaanesh, they just go, "Oh, good, sex, drugs, and rock and roll," and it's not just that. Slaanesh is much more. It's the god of excess. So absolutely everything that he does, everything that you do in your daily life, can lead you to the path of Slaanesh, really, because anything can be done in excess, and that's the point of it. And I think it's really interesting when you give it a thought, at least. And yeah, Alpha Legion is probably the one I'm having the most fun painting. With the Emperor's Children, by the way, too, because I really like to do this kind of freehand details on plain surfaces. I think it's very good fun. Robin H. Juan, do you try painting in other styles such as grim dark? Often I have found this helps me find new techniques to put into my painting. I'm curious if you have found the same. I've tried them. I've tried a lot of styles over the years, and in the end, yeah. For example, when I did the base for my Spectra, which I don't have here, so I can't show you, but if you watch the video of the How to Paint Farsight Enclaves, you will see a Dead Zone Mini there, not a Warhammer 40k Mini for my Dead Zone Strike team, and I painted the base quite green darky, like a very texture, rust and streaks, and that was fun. I know how to make it. I just really enjoy painting that in that really bright, especially a bit, maybe a bit 90s. Sorry, but my kid is a bit, kids. Um, but in the 90s, I really enjoy that 90s heavy metal style, like really bright colors, really bold color choices. I just enjoy painting like that. So in the end, I just want to paint what I enjoy, really. Okay, Scorpion is asking, can I paint the final base color and after painting over it with the contrast paint, matching it? I don't like the color I get with the white base coat and then contrast. And yeah, I mean, you can just use contrast as washes. Really, you can do that and it will work much better than the shades. So yeah, if you do that, I recommend you dilute them a bit with contrast medium and then do just that, and you will find a perfect tool for that there. What I do, especially if I'm going to paint an army and I want to use contrast or mixed between them or just diluted, what I do is I make a pot. I take one of these empty pots. This is full of paint, but I take one of these empty, and I just make the mix there, and I make a full pot of the mix, and then just paint with that. It's just better. It's really useful for me. I did that for my undead, which are all custom mixes of washes and contrast paints, and then just went with it, and it works so well. Kelto asking, do you miss Darren Latham's videos? Yes, I do actually. I really enjoy them. He has a style of painting that I obviously like very much, and I think he was doing very good content with his limitations, because he just didn't like to edit videos too much, and he wasn't into all the videography part of this side of the hobby. But yeah, he made really good painting videos, and I do miss him. But I kind of understand in a way why he isn't making videos anymore, and it's not really what people think. It's not just that. It's not that. It's really not just that. He never wanted to make so many videos. I mean, that was very clear. He even said that he just started making videos on YouTube because people were asking all the time to put them on YouTube instead of on Instagram. He just wanted to make quick little videos for Instagram so people will see how he does stuff, and it kind of escalated quickly, and I know he wasn't 100% comfortable with all that, and he already has a job. I think it's a very good one, and yeah, I mean, maybe that mixed with a bit of conflict of interest with GW in the end, and yeah, but I think GW is learning from that, and they are actually looking for a good painter to make high level painting videos, and I'm really looking forward to that. It won't be me, that much I tell you, because I'm not interested in moving to England in any way, shape or form now. I have a family and we have our life here, so yeah. Joe asking, saying, love your content. I was wondering if you ever have any plans to do content that was focused on speed. I can answer that now. No, I don't paint fast. I don't like painting fast. There are plenty of videos about painting quickly, and they are very good videos, so go watch them. I just paint how I like to paint every day. That's how I paint my armies. What you see in the videos is literally how I paint my armies. So that's how I paint fast. Uh, Oh yeah, Math is asking a very good question that gets asked a lot in the videos. Is the difference between Lamian medium and contrast medium? Yes, there is a big difference between them. Lamian medium, this is a very good way you can think of it. Lamian medium is shades without pigments, and contrast medium is a contrast paint without pigments, and they are very different. One is more liquid, one is contrast medium is thicker, and they behave differently. What I really like, I really think Lamian medium is one of the best mediums around, and I'm not alone in thinking this. I had a couple of conversations with other painters, and Lamian medium is really just very good. And I use it to, when I want to glaze something, I want to make it very uniform. It really helps, especially if you're doing very light colors, which tend to separate a lot when you thin them down a lot. And contrast medium, I just use to thin down contrast paints. That's all I do for them. When I want my contrast paints to not be that intense, that's how I use it. I tried it for glazing and I didn't like it. I tried it to mix with regular acrylic paints and I didn't like it. So, to each their own. Okay. I found some contrast paints provide great aging effects over metallic paints. Yes, they do. If you watch my video on the Iron Warrior, you will see a lot of weathering with contrast paints, and I think it does a fantastic job. I'm happy and just doing your style. Okay, thank you. I think you will put the keyboards on Latham's channel. Yes and no. I think there was some conflict of interest between GW and with Darren's channel, but I also think Darren stopped making videos and was happy to yeah. I think deep inside or in his own brain he just found a escape route that he really wanted to take. Yeah, I genuinely believe that. Yeah, he just wants to do his job and help people out, but it got a bit out of his control. He's grown too quickly, too fast, and I think maybe it was an executive order. Maybe just say that, but I think he was happy to comply. Let's just say that. Yeah. Yeah, Tim Morin says, I've heard several times about that painting lengths only, because if you go and see all his videos, he just, for the most part, he just painted a lot of Space Marine legs. Very well. Beautiful legs. So I just took that and just ran with the joke. And so when I'm painting NMM, I just paint a leg because I think it's funny. But yeah, he just painted legs. He painted the leg for the black Space Marine, yellow, red, and white Space Marine. Yeah, I mean, I think that is where that joke come from. Essex Boys, do you paint more for pleasure or the goal of completing a force to play? I paint for pleasure, first of all. And I also paint some things for the joy of having it painted on the table. But first of all, it has to be pleasure. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not doing it. Simple as that. Yeah, Synthesis is right. He says you don't have to follow every aspect of my videos, and you are right. You don't. You just need to take what you like and just use it. You don't need to follow every step like it was the Bible. It's just not works like that. I just do it that way because I think it's fun, but that's it. Okay, Siso, or Saiso. Do you ever make dioramas? Not really. people that know me know that I hate doing terrain. And the farthest I go to making a diorama is making the display base for my Yanden Kill team, which is sitting there, which is just a flat surface, um, basing paste, and then some tufts over it, basically with a wash. So yeah, not really keen on making dioramas. Not my thing. Making terrain is really not my stuff. Michael, do you ever find the pattern of what videos do the best? I'm sure there's one. Yes, yes, I have found a pattern. Yes, if you watch, I know that is a joke, but if you watch the how to paint black and MM video, you will have an answer. If you haven't watched it, anyone that's watching, go watch it, and you have an answer of what videos make best. So, but yeah, let me go back to my channel, and I will read a list of the number one of my top videos by. Let me see. Okay. By performance, and you will see what I'm talking about. So, my best video so far, the one that has the most views. This is overall. This is not like in a single video. This is overall performance. Number 1, Alpha Legion. Number 2, White Scars. Number 3, Death Guard. Number 4, Imperial Fist. Number 5, Raven Guard. Number 6, Salamanders. Number 7, Emperor's Children. And number 10 is Blood Angels. And in between 8 and 9 is Sisters of Battle, which is really like a Space Marine, and Necron Blades, which I'm really proud of that video, by the way. So yeah, those are my 10 most views videos, and yeah, I think you can see a clear pattern of what works and what doesn't. So yeah, I could, if I wanted to just go for the views and for the revenue, I could just do Space Marines. There are thousands of chapters to do, and I could be happy and probably have more patrons and probably with more money. But honestly, that was a project that was closed from the beginning. I was just, in fact, in the start, I was just going to do one for each of the Loyalist legions, and then I expanded it to the other Chaos of the Traitor legions, because I thought that otherwise it would be incomplete, and I did it, and that's closed. So no more heavy contrast Marines, because I may use a Space Marine for some video, like I did for the Black and MM, just because I have Space Marines around, and they're fantastic minis to paint, especially for that kind of NMM armored videos. But for the most part, there won't be like a full-length Space Marine video for a very long time, maybe, because I just don't want to do it. There are so many factions outside Space Marines that no one is doing videos for, and even if they don't perform very well, I still want to do them. Essex Boys, do you enjoy Blood Bowl as a game? No, I've talked about this a bit earlier. I don't like sports-based games, or games that revolve around something that is sport-related at all, anything, even if it's Blood Bowl or the other one that was based on the Calcio game, which I think doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, I really don't like them. Sorry. I like the minis. The minis are cool, especially when they do silly stuff like halfies and goblins and snotlings. Those are fantastic, but I just don't like the game at all. It's just some game. I might get from time to time an itch to play Warhammer 40k or Age of Sigmar or something like that, but I've never had the itch to play Blood Bowl or Dread Ball or Guild Ball or any other ball-based games. Just I don't know why, I just don't like it. Total Bear, hi from Switzerland. Hi. Whatever you are from the whatever. Whoa, sorry. I have just a mental breakdown. Whatever you are from Switzerland, thank you for watching. I actually was in Switzerland for a while, training and working really, but more training to be honest. For my job, I was living in La Chaux-de-Fonds for not long enough to learn how to speak French properly, so that should be enough. I love Switzerland. I had a great time there. Fantastic country. Yeah, Emperor protects and gives views on YouTube. He really did. There is, I mean, you really understand why GW makes so many Space Marines. They just sell. They sell a lot. And even if all the rest of the 40k players that don't do Marines complain about it a lot, the truth is they sell a lot of models, so they are going to make a lot of them, and they will sell them because that's what they do. Yeah, thank you, John. That's I'm really glad that you liked it. It was a good effort, but I mean it really was a pain to make, but I'm really glad people like it. Do you have a 40k army, Stefan asks? No, I don't play 40k. I play Dead Zone and Kings of War exclusively. I do have a lot of Eldar models because I love Eldar, so you can consider that, but they are not painted. But I guess most of the people don't have painted models, so you can say I have an Eldar army. But I'm not sure I will have enough models for an army. Maybe for a second edition army, considering there are not many. I have a legal kill team for Yanden, which I don't plan to use. I'm just going to be there until I'm sad of seeing it in my shelf and I sell it, which will probably happen at some point in the future. Synthas, what process do you use to play your metallic? The same as the rest. Rosemary & Co. Series 33, size 3 and 4. Those are my brushes I use for everything. Washes, contrast, metallics, everything. I just use those. Simple. If they lose their point and they start going badly, I put them aside, use them for basing or for heavy washes or for whatever, and I buy new ones. They usually last for about a year, more or less, maybe sometimes less, sometimes more, but they are cheap. I mean, even for being Kolinsky brushes, Rosemary & Co. Series 33 are quite affordable, and that's just why I love them. I pay 5-6 euros for a brush. When it goes the way of the dodo, I just buy a new one and move on. I usually have like 3 or 4 of the same. I have like a couple of sizes 3 and a couple of sizes 4 waiting for when those go down, and I usually make an order once a year of brushes. Yeah, chess. Yeah, Sosmin says, does no sport games include chess? I mean, the problem with chess is, at least for me, it's too complicated for me. Chess is really hard game, and I'm just not clever enough. So I'm no. I like it. It has that's. I like all the brainy stuff that you have to do to play chess. That's why I like Kings of War so much, because Kings of War has a lot of that tactical thinking behind it. But no, chess is just too much for me. I don't have the head to play chess. Oh, Total lives in Bern, the capital, in the German part. Guten Tag. But I come from the south, the Italian part. Though as soon as I'm done with my studies, I will move to another country. Great for you. I really hope you find a place where you are happy. Essex boys, do you ever play D&D? No, I don't. I don't play now. I used to play sporadically back in the day, a long time ago. But the problem with D&D is you need a group, and you need a group that is constant, and we weren't constant. We were teenagers, so I mean, we played the game once 3 months, and it was good fun, but it was not really a game. It was just more goofing around than playing D&D. So no, I don't play D&D. That is, to the TLDR answer. So guys, we have been here for 1 hour 11 minutes, and I think it's a good time to say goodbye. So if you want to leave all your questions, the last round of questions there, this is the time to do it. And if you don't, I will say goodbye and thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate you all being here, and I really appreciate you taking this hour to be around with me and to, I hope, have fun in this stream. That is a bit. I really like making this because it kind of brings you closer to the people that are watching your videos, and that's something that I really enjoy. Yeah, Meandering Shade is saying, can confirm Rosemary and Co are lovely brushes. Use the series 33, use the series 33 and the series 22. Great value for Kolinsky brushes, also helps that I live close to where they are produced. Great. Talk about a sightseeing tour. That I would love to go to the factory actually. Yeah. There's Olin Beer. I was only here for the last minutes, but I enjoyed. Thanks. Thank you very much. Same things again. Thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure to have been here with you. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Oh, one more question just popped up before I was going to click end the stream. So, Scorpion says, have you seen the fan-made bits, for example, Astartes on YouTube? Yes, I have, and they are fantastic. I really like all the 40k related animation, and even people like to make fun of the official ones. I think they are really good, and I think the Astartes ones are really good too. The Astartes guys really works hard on the videos he makes, so you can really tell. I mean, but he only has to. I mean, that is like his hobby is making one very short video that is very striking, and he really makes a beautiful job. Yeah, I love that too. Yeah, there is one of the Raptor one that is it's been out for not so much, and it's also fantastic. And I don't know the name of the guy that makes it, but yeah, fantastic videos. People are really. It's really amazing to see what people can do now at their home with their home computers. That wasn't something you could do 10, 20 years ago. It's actually amazing to live in a world where one guy with a computer at his house can do such an amazing quality video. So again, guys, thank you very much for watching. This will be all. I go back and start to prepare the dinner. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.